Okay, now, here are the words down the left. Fight, plight, night, spotlight, outright, nightclub, highlight, eyesight, oversight, and nightmare. Okay, so the first thing is that the IGH is one sound. It's an I sound. So those three letters together make a dash with a T at the end, for a dot for a T at the end. So every single word should have somewhere in it a dash and then a dot. Okay? And if you take a quick scan over it, you can see that that's the case. Another thing to spot is that 6 and 8 have hammocks. So 6 and 8 must have magic E's in them. So let's look at these words, and if we read through them, what we spot is that from fight all the way down to highlight, there's not even an E in any of these letters, which means that none of these are 6 or 8. So if you look at eyesight, oversight, and nightmare, they've got E's in them. And all of them have got a vowel, and then a consonant, and then an E. So E, Y, E, vowel, consonant, E, OVE, vowel, consonant, E, and ARE, vowel, consonant, E. Now if we look at 6, the hammock is at the end of the word. And if we look at nightmare, the magic E is the very last letter, which means that 6 is nightmare. Okay, I'm just going to draw a line from nightmare to 6. So that's our first one done. So eyesight is number 8 is either eyesight or oversight. So how can we work that out? Because they're both vowel, consonant, and then an E. And actually, they've got the same number of letters, and they both end in sight, S-I-G-H-T. So the only difference then is in the E-Y-E and O-V-E. Except for O-V-E, R, has an extra letter. However, that is not necessarily helpful. Although if we count the dots, we will notice that there's not enough space in number 8 for there are too many dots in number 8 for eyesight. But that isn't the reason. Eyesight is not a magic E, because what a magic E does, it changes it from its normal sound to the name of the letter. So in eyesight, it should change the E from an E sound to an E sound. But that's not right, because it's eyesight, it's not E-sight. But in oversight, the letter O changes from an O sound to an O sound, which means that oversight must be 8. Okay. So let's look at to see if there's anything else that stands out. It's tricky. So my suggestion then for the rest of them is to go through them word by word. So fight, we've got IGHT, so that is a dash and a dot, and then just one letter before that, which means that fight is number 2. So I'm going to go from fight to number 2. That's not a good colour. Then we've got plight. Now plight is very similar to flight. The only difference is it's got an extra letter. So we're looking for something that is the same as fight, but with an extra dot at the beginning. So basically we're looking for something that starts with 2 dots and then a dash. And if we look carefully, only 9 does that, which means that plight is number 9. Okay? Night, K is silent, which means that K and N, we've got a dash. So let's look at all the ones that start with a dash. 1, 4, 7. It's 1, 4, or 7. So KN is a dash, and that takes us straight into our IGH. So that would be dash, dash. And of those, only 4 is dash, dash, which means that night is number 4. Oops. Okay, then we've got spotlight. So spotlight starts with a whole lot of dots. Spot-l. Every single one of those needs a dot. And the only word that starts, or the only one here that starts with a whole lot of dots, is in fact number 10. Which means that spotlight is 10. Then we've got nightclub. Now nightclub, oh no, I've missed out outright. So outright, it starts with OU, which makes an OW sound, which means it's starting with a dash. Okay, and if we remember 1, 4, and 7 all started with a dash. 4's already been taken, it's night. So in that case, it's either 1 or 7 that is outright. So OW makes our dash. Then we've got a T and an which means it's 2 dots. Now if we look, 1 is dash dot dash, and 7 is dash dot dot dash, which means outright is, I'm running out of colours here, outright is 7. Oops, sorry about that line. Okay, next we've got nightclub. Now nightclub has a whole lot of letters after our ite, and each letter is a sound on its own. Club, which means we're looking for a whole lot of dots at the end of the word. Now 5 and 6 have got dots at the end of the word, but 6 has already been taken and it's got that hammock, which means that nightclub has to be 5. I don't know if you'll see this, it's a very pale yellow. Okay, and that means we've just got, have we done nightclub? Oh, I did that wrongly. I went to highlight instead of nightclub. Okay, it's highlight we haven't done. Oops, sorry about that. So highlight, highlight starts with a dash. No, it doesn't. It's a dot and then a dash and then a dot for the H, and then a dash for the I, a dot for the L, a dash for the I, and a dot for the T. So it's dot dash dot dash dot, and that is right across from it, number 3, which just leaves us with eyesight, and eyesight then has to be number 1, which I will try with this colour. There we are. And eyesight, I is a dash, and it's, if you notice that the dash is a bit longer than the dash in number 4, because eyesight has 3 letters, EYE, to make that I sound, and then a dot for the S, a dash for the I, and a dot for the T, for the T sound. Okay, so I'm sorry that everybody find that so difficult. I should mention Cameron here, who got everything correct. He started with the dashes and the dots and dashes and wrote the words over the top of them. So that might have been the way to do it. Maybe we'll try that in class next week. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll have to think about that. Okay, please let me know if you've got any questions.